Right, question for you now. If you were driving along a country lane and spotted a dead animal at the roadside, would you take it home and cook it?
Well, the answer is yes for TV presenter and wildlife enthusiast Miranda Krestovnikoff. So welcome. Are you a chef or a bad driver?
Neither, I hope. No, I just think it's quite an interesting way of looking at our food.
I remember going to look at Bristol, you know, on the open day, and it just rained all day long. We were walking around and up and down hills in the rain, and it should have been the worst open day, but there was something about the city that, you know, was just really fantastic. And I was at Clifton Hill House, which I know is a very nice place to be. So I was really lucky to get in there my first year, and I stayed in my second year and got involved in sort of running clubs and groups in the hall. I did hot air ballooning as well, which I really, really enjoyed. And then I think most of the rest of the things were to do with music. I sang in the choirs, and I was involved in the orchestras. I did some productions. We did an amazing production of West Side Story, which again will stay with me for the rest of my life. It was absolutely electrifying being involved in that. That was absolutely amazing.
Dublin Bay is a mecca for open sea swimmers. They come here every weekend to flex their muscles against tide and temperature. But these wild waters aren't just home to aquatic athletes. Out there is Britain's most venomous jellyfish, the lion's mane. And I'm about to join these guys and enter its lair.
During my second year at university, I spent some time volunteering up at Slimbridge Wildfire and Wetlands Trust up in Gloucester. That was amazing, that role. I don't know if that role exists in the way it did back then, but you know, I got to do talks to the public and, you know, feed the birds and learn about their conservation and ring them and do research work. And it was just this incredible job working at that reserve. And that time, those couple of months or whatever I spent there were just absolutely life-changing, really, in helping me decide what I wanted to do. Also really lucky when I came to Bristol that I got into the orchestras in my first year. And I think sort of once you're in, you sort of were in and you stayed in, and it was really good. I think music took up a lot of time, but then it was wonderful and I was really happy to do that. I sung with a little a cappella group who I hope are still going, called the Madrigal Ensemble. There's 14 of us, and we used to go and tour around Cornwall in the summer. Everybody was a bit crazy, and it had absolutely the best time. It was an amazing, amazing university and did so much, you know, really helped shape my career. I did a really mad shoot for the One Show where they had this lady up on the Isle of Islay up in Scotland, and she used to go out on her boat and play her violin to the local grey seal population. And they said, would you like to go and play a duet with her? So you two literally sit on a rock together, and I was playing my flute and she was playing her violin. We did a little duet, and the seals were like popping out of the water going, what? Oh. You know, you don't quite know if they're enjoying the music or they're just thinking, whoa, what is this?
Welcome to the chilly waters of the North Sea. We're diving just a few metres away from the Farne Islands. The coast of England is about 5 miles in that direction over to the west, and Norway is about 350 miles over to the east.
I was being a bit floaty, I guess, in my, you know, in Freshers Week. Like, yeah, I want to learn to hot air balloon, I want to learn to scuba dive, I want to, you know, tick things off my list. And you know, guys that I was chatting to in the queue who were like, oh yeah, I think I'd quite like to learn to scuba dive because I quite like you. And that was it. And I had just, you know, no idea that it was going to be such a big part of my life. And I mean, even when I started presenting, I never thought, oh, by the way, I'll be diving and presenting. It was just a hobby. And then actually my very first presenting job, they said, right, this is an Arga mask, this full face mask with a microphone in it. Chuck that on, let's go dive with some sharks. I want to know how to use this. Yeah, the diving is really interesting, and I always feel like you just have this tiny little snapshot in time of a reef or wherever you're diving, wreck, whatever you're driving. There's so much going on, but I think I love those sort of shoots more because there's so much more that can go wrong, and everybody's sort of, you know, running on adrenaline a bit more, and there's a sense of anticipation and a slight nervousness. Great fun, but much more challenging than just going to a woodland and filming a great tit.
Hi, I'm Miranda Krestovnikoff. I'm president of the RSPB and I'm a television broadcaster. And this year I wrote a book all about birds, which is beautifully illustrated by the very talented Angela Harding.
Brilliant. I mean, it's just I've got one more year, and it's been an utter joy to be involved with such a big organisation as well. So a real heavyweight among conservation organisations. They've got 1.2 million members, so you've got some real voices out there for nature, which is fantastic, and it's instantly recognisable as well. People say RSPB, people know exactly what you're talking about. So it's a much loved organisation as well. It's sort of deeply rooted in our history. And I think it just is wonderful to be involved in that. Again, it's going to sound a bit cliched, but you spend your life sort of taking out of the system and working hard and earning money and blah 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 blah. I think now I've got time to reflect a little bit more, and for me it's all about is putting something back in. So I do quite a bit of charity work, but I would like to do more of that and more. And I said earlier, more projects where I feel like actually I'm being really useful rather than just doing it for my own personal gain. Those are the projects that are endlessly rewarding. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing a lot more of in the future.